Hey y'all, what's up? Back with another video. So, as you can see the title, this is gonna be a little hip hop, album review. This is gonna be my first one. Um, Decided to make it about Nas because, when I got into hip hop, Nas was one of the first artists I really got into when I was really researching on like the histories, the artists to know, the classic albums you have to listen to, all that hip hop head shit. And he was kind of one of the first rappers I really became a fan of. Like I really became a fan of. And so, what better way than to start this, hip hop review stuff on this channel and with, the latest Styles album. So the album King Disease, it's pretty good album. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like spectacular. It's not my like top five Nas albums, but you have to listen to it. It's a pretty solid release. The album is pretty good, especially coming from his last official album, not including the Lost tapes because the Lost tapes are kind of like unreleased tracks, but like in terms of like albums that the last album that we really got from was like Nasir, and to a lot of people that was pretty bad. To me, like it wasn't his greatest effort. It wasn't that good as expected from like say a Nas and Kanye album. You would expect it to be really, banging. You would expect it to be like no less than probably like four mics. These are two legends. But the album was kind of it. Did not exceed expectations. It pretty much lowered. Pretty much like it wasn't that good basically to sum it up. And so like being how to many people was bad, you probably can come into this with probably low expectation and listen to this and think it would be great. For me, the album it was just good. Like as much as I am a Nas fan, I didn't find this to be very spectacular or like amazing, like five mic type, source awards, source type shit, classic. But the album's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like it's a nice, very introspective, you know, a mix of introspective, a little bit of brag rap, type of stuff. And like the beauty of it, like I think the greatest aspect of it is how it fuses Nas and where he is from and his position in hip hop history, especially at this time, and Hit Boy, and fuses them together. I think that's one thing that makes this album very dope. It's not messy. You know what I mean? For two artists, for a guy who came out like Nas in 1991. I mean not 91. Well, technically activity wise, as I like to call it for rappers who started really rapping. He came out in 91, but his album came out in 94. For a guy like Nas who burst on the music scene with Illmatic in '94, and for someone like Hit Boy who's very modern, you know, these two, it's very, it blends in really well. The old with the new, the '90s with the 2010s, and they blend together. It's not messy. It's not, you know, Hit Boy having to go very, old for Nas's sake, nor is it Nas having to go very modern and new for Hit Boy's sake. It's a middle ground. It's very gray. It's not black or white. It's not right or left. It's middle. And so that's what makes this album very dope. I really like how it's short. Like honestly, like I'll admit, like we're all biased. And when you're biased for an artist that you're a fan of, you kind of probably want to listen to a longer album. And I kind of did, but at the same time, I was like, I can kind of see that. I can kind of see why he made it short because, it goes with the time we're living in where albums are a bit more shorter. Albums are not 3 to 4 songs each. I mean, shit. There's so much music out now that it's hard to really even listen to an album that's even an hour long. Like, shit, that's one of the reasons why I still have not listened to the Childish Gambino album that just came out because, like, the songs was it Childish Gambino? I think it was. Like his each song was like 6 minutes, and it's hard for me to just sit there and I'm like, I can't do this. Like shit, it took me damn near the whole day just to listen to one of those tracks. What was it like 12:38 or something? And yeah, I like how short and concise and straight to the point this album is. It's not long, and that goes into one of the small little gripes. And I don't know if I'm gonna really see this as a gripe anymore, more as like just seeing that you kind of have to sacrifice that to uh, create this album, which is nice and straight to the point and concise, in that there's no storytelling track in it. Like Nas is a storytelling type rapper, and so one aspect of storytelling I really like he touches in his content is the whole New York history, New York, content he does where he talks about, how it was living in New York, you know, the whole New York culture and stuff. And like being someone who's never really been in New York, I always found that fascinating, especially during the early years when I was really getting into hip hop. Nas really made me be fascinated in New York. You know what I mean? Like I really want to learn more about what it was like out there in the East. And so like that's one aspect that I did kind of miss on the album, but I guess you kind of have to sacrifice that if you want an album like this. But yeah, songs like, you know, songs like I would say Replace Me, Blue Benz, The Definition, Full Circle. I don't know Full Circle. I don't know. Damn, I forgot what this song sounds like. Oh yeah, okay, it's starting to hit me. Yeah, yeah, full. So I would say Full Circle, and 10 points. I really, really liked. Especially like, let me talk about the features too. The features actually surprised me. Well, I wouldn't say they surprised me. Yeah, I would say they surprised me because Big Sean. I didn't expect Big Sean. Not that I'm saying that he's bad or he's whack or something. Big Sean can get busy, but Big Sean, I feel like he got the best of Nas. Like I feel like on Replace Me, he got the best of him. You know, like that star power line, I found that to be very cool. Big Sean has a very good verse. People don't get paid respect to Big Sean. In fact, I'm gonna do a video on Big Sean one day and talk about how he's low key a beast. Like let's get this right. I'm no fan of Big Sean like that. In fact, I don't really consider him like out of those 2010 rappers, especially the blog era rappers. Big Sean's not really in my top five, but I feel like people like to undermine him, especially people who are fans of artists like Drake, Kendrick fans, especially Kendrick fans because of the whole subliminal beef they have, and plus they like to undermine him because of the features they did. Constantly, oh, Kendrick killed Big Sean and stuff. But besides that point, Big Sean is very he's very underrated in the aspect of how good he is as a rapper, and so I wouldn't say he surprised me in terms of the fact that, oh, I didn't know he could rap like some of these haters do on him. More so like I didn't expect him to really go in here and really kind of outdo Nas like that. Because Nas had a good verse, but Big Sean's verse, his was strong. His was stronger, and so good performance from him. Another one that surprised me was Anderson .Paak, but his was the opposite, unlike Sean's, who exceeded my expectations. Anderson I'm a fan of him, and I was expecting more with the All Bad song, but no, his was kind of that's the one song that was kind of disappointing. I feel like All Bad, it wasn't whack. It just damn, I was expecting more. It's kind of like that feeling you got with the Nasir album. You were expecting more. You were expecting something better, and that's what All Bad was. I was expecting something much better, more more like Anderson, he's a very great person to do music with, it seems, because it doesn't matter what rapper he works with, he can just, like he's done songs with Freddie Gibbs, you know, West Side, all sorts of rappers, all sorts of different styles, Kendrick, uh, so on and so forth. So I was expecting something very great on that tier. But, so that song, it wasn't whack, a bit disappointing. Like I said, there's not many songs, from my opinion. And really, I don't know if you can take my opinion serious because I'm a Nas fan, so probably I'm a bit biased. So I'm probably not gonna sit here and say there's any whack song, any any like like some bullshit. But all that is that song I would say that is a little bit disappointing, especially being I'm a fan of those two, and I was kind of expecting that's a song I was actually expecting to listen to. The Firm song, Full Circle, very dope. Pretty nice to hear a reunion of all of them. Was not expecting to hear Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was kind of a surprise, as he was to, I'm pretty sure, everyone else. You know, but at the same time, I don't know, like, not to be on some shit and say this in the retrospect, in the hereafter, but I kind of expected some little guest verse. Like, I was expecting a little surprise guest verse on the album. Like, I was thinking, like, I had a weird feeling, like, maybe, like, someone, like, you know, J. Cole or some other person who you probably would think Nas would work with, was gonna be on the album. They just weren't, on the featured, named feature list on the track list. But this was, I guess this was it really. And I liked it, a nice little, Dre, spitting some bars. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was a pretty nice song, pretty nice reunion song. But yeah, overall the album was very nice, very, cohesive, concise, straight to the point, modern sounding Nas album. It's short, it's not that long, so like, it's very nice. It's a step up from Nasir. Speaking of Nasir, I never find Nasir that bad. And even though I said this album is overall better than Nasir, I do feel like one or two songs from Nasir was better than almost any song on this album. And that's not no, you know, shot at King Disease, but I just feel like it was more like Nas's rapping, and I feel like the production and Nas's style fitted more with one or two. Like Adam and Eve, I feel like Adam and Eve was, if you put Adam and Eve on King's Disease, I feel like Adam and Eve would be the best song. But, as an overall project, King Disease is better. But yeah, I'm not gonna extend this video any longer. This is just a quick thought video. I might make a video more. I don't know. Like I said, going with this channel, I'm kind of going with just the flow of it. I feel like I might do a more insightful, more critical look. Yeah, I might do that. I might do a more critical look on probably say the writing and stuff, and lyric breakdown and stuff. I don't know. But like I said, let me close this video off. It was a great album. I'm not sure where I would rank it, but I would say it's a very nice step away from Nasir. It's a very dope Nas album. Like it's a very nice Nas album, especially if you want to hear Nas on modern sounding, trap, lo-fi, etc. 2020 type beats, and you want a Nas album in a very 2020 sound. This is it. A few things you might miss. Like I said, if you're a Nas fan like me, you probably might miss some of the storytelling, but the album is very dope. And it's very fitting too, given who Nas is and where he is in the rap game. So it's a very introspective, very, trying to, give game and knowledge to the younger people who are listening to this album, or, to other people who need it, who are probably in his age range. But yeah, very solid album. I would advise listening to it, especially if you're a Nas fan. And I'm out. Catch y'all in the next video.